space, it all crumbles.
The utility is too good, and Victor kills himself with his own ult.
Yeah, of course he knows he's there, because they're broadcasting in big lights. We are coming showers slowly. Because again, this makes no sense. It's just so bad. It's so bad. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being, but it's probably going to be a bit longer than most of my normal videos, and that's for good reason, because for those of you who don't know, NRG lost to Leviatán 13-4, 13-4, and they won 3 attacking rounds out of 24, which is not that good, for those of you who don't know. Now, off the top, I just want to say this video is not really going to focus on Leviatán that much. If you are a Lev fan, I'm sorry. They played very well, right? And you will see, you know, in these clips, of course, Leviatán playing well. You will also get to see that as well, but I'm not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on NRG, because just know this video could be longer, right? There are rounds that I am not including for one reason or another that I could include of NRG being bad, because it really was that bad. But let's start with Sunset, the first map here, and we're going to start with round number 5. NRG are already 3-1 down. This is kind of an important round for them, right? This is the full buy round here. Big gun round for NRG to get back in the game, and it doesn't go that well.
Yeah, especially when you play against that breach. Like you stated, you have to try to get that quick timing, explosive timing, because if he's there and ready for you, that utility is going to absolutely destroy you.
Just Tex flash out of this? Oh, it's going to be too late now. They're all in the smoke! Wow. Tex gets 2!
Spike down mid.
What a round!
You might have thought that was just a bit unlucky there for NRG, but if we actually come back and take a look at their game versus Loud, and Sean Gaz pointed this out as well, we'll take a look at this round.
Between kickoff and now about, you know, was it a meta problem? What happened to the Demon 1 that played on EG? I know it's just one map, it hasn't even been a full half, but he's certainly answering a lot of the questions and silencing a lot of the doubters. Oh! Debut on Raze. He falls here, but Ethan's there to pick up the pieces. Victor now.
It's basically the same kind of round, right, where they're trying to walk up mid, and it doesn't even go that well for them, right, to be honest. But let's just take a look at the util they use. So they smoke off mid in here. They're going to put this Cypher Cage out in mid, right? So they get the Cypher Cage out here as well from Victor to allow them to cross. They're going to KO knife into market just there, right? So that's the util that they're using for this, and then they're just going to try and basically contact walk into mid here, right? I mean, the timing of this isn't even very good, because the cage falls and actually they die from there anyway. So it's not even executed that well by NRG even the first time that they do it. And as I said, we end up going, you know, 2 for 2. It's not even that good. And this is going to be the story of this video, really. The NRG on their attack side are obvious at what they are doing, and their execution of those obvious plans aren't very good. And that's what happened consistently in this Lev game. And I mean, it's just an obvious tell, right? That, again, here comes this round, and it looks like Lev are already kind of set up for it, because, again, in that Loud game, it was off a timeout that NRG went for that strat, and then this is the first buy round after a timeout. So, you know, maybe Lev were, you know, already expecting off a timeout. This is what Chet would maybe call or whatever, right? So again, the KO knife comes into market, and again, we're gonna get this cage out here into mid from Victor also, and so Lev just come and walk into the smoke, right? This is the only time Victor does this cage. Like, this is the only round they do this. So yeah, it's pretty obvious what you're going to do. So Lev are just sitting there. They know what's coming at this point. As soon as they see that cage, and you see that they ping it out on the map as well, like, they know. They know what is coming. And so they just sit there, and they're ready to just kill them all, and obviously they win the round. And now we're going to see a lot more examples of NRG doing very obvious stuff pretty badly. Now let's skip ahead to round number 10, and we're not going to focus on Sunset as much because there's a lot on Bind we need to talk about. But this one, you know, it starts off perfectly fine. There's nothing really wrong with what they do. We get a bit of a skirmish here towards B main. You got the Gecko Flash, you got the KO Flash, it pushes Aspas back. They're going to get the KO Knife in here. We're going to get the Omen Flash in response just there. We're then going to get a Breach Stun in here as well from Lev. Okay, they force them back out of B main. There's no problem with that, right? They've seen enough there, perhaps, to think that this, you know, is going to be a bit more of a B stack. That's fine. They come back to A. There is nothing wrong with this part of the round, necessarily from NRG. They wait for the one way to go down. You know, we take a shot. We both miss. Sure, cool, whatever. But now, from this point in the round, what I want you to consider is, what are you hearing if you are Leviatán when NRG are progressing from this point onwards?
Need to do any heroics, especially with the way that they've been winning these rounds.
I think it shows a lot of discipline too, because when you're up 8-1, when it feels like everything is going right, you want to swing that. You want to take the fight. Double flash right here. On the other side of the smoke, they both through. They're so done.
So it's a nice double flash by Lev there, and it looks really cool from Leviatán. And it is really cool by Leviatán. But what are NRG doing? What on earth are they doing? Because, I mean, if you heard it there, I'm going to be playing it on mute now so that I can talk over it. But you will have heard that Crashies goes and gets an ultimate. I mean, one, that we're smoking ourselves off elbow. This is already just playing to lose because we don't know what's going on here, right? So we're always constantly worried about the threat from behind. So multiple people have to kind of be wary of that anyway. But then as we come forward, right, we go for this smoke here on Tex in a second. Why are we walking in whilst also making noise, right? Because Ethan has just popped his second flash, right? If I come back 5 seconds, you'll see Ethan has this flash. But then in a second, when that smoke goes up, so the smoke has just come up now, right? Ethan just used the flash. So we're flashing, we're smoking. Okay, that's good. But why are we walking? And then Crashy starts firing bullets back as well. So it's like, hey, Leviatán, we are here. We are making noise. We are here, bro. Trust me, we are here. But we're just going to make sure that you've got time to get across the map to where you feel confident enough to come and double flashes. We're just giving you that time to do that. Why is everything slow here? I don't understand it. And this, again, is going to be a common issue for NRG. That we are making noise, we are telling you where we are going, but then doing it slow enough so that you have time to react. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, next one here, round number 11. I'm going to play it with about a minute left. As you can see, this is where we are on the map. It's kind of been a bit defaulty. There hasn't really been too much wrong that's gone on just yet. But from this point on, I'm not even going to say that much because it looks like a ranked game, right? This round looks like a ranked game, and not even a good ranked game.
How do they get through this? Mazzino playing close.
Interesting smoke, too.
This feels like we're trying to find any space that we can. Team 1 pushing the smoke, contacting his way in. Marv tries to find some space mid and is met with a similar fate.
Kate, camera taken out.
And now they know the rest of the members are trying to funnel the way out onto B, but Leviatán are already here. It's the same story. Oh my gosh! It's the same outcome.
I mean, that was literally just people walking throughout the map on their own. No util. Don't care. We had one bit of util, which was Demon 1, one Ethan flash. That's all we're using. That's it. What are we doing? Okay, now let's come to Bind, which is honestly probably worse. I know that sounds almost impossible, but it is worse. And this deserved to be a 13-0, by the way. It's that bad. But let's take a look at the anti-bonus. And this one starts off okay, right? We're not going to be saying that by the end of Bind. This one starts off okay. The later rounds do not start off okay. But we'll get to that when we get to it. But hey, we start with a B-long default, right? All is fine. We flash. We gecko flash. We send the boombot. It's chilling. Whatever. Cool. Right? But we're actually going to end up going back towards A, as you can see here towards short. Now, these two are just sitting here. They're just waiting for some kind of reactive push against a bonus. That's not the worst idea, right? It's perfectly fine. The Skydog is going to come out B-long, though, right? Sees nothing here. I'm not sure if NRG heard that dog or not. Not really sure. Ethan's going to try and still create some pressure on B here with the KO knife into Hooker. But then Ethan, I'm pretty sure, does either see or gets hit by that Sky Flash, right? I don't think he does get hit by it. So he still wants to try and like make them think that this is a B, like there is some pressure on B. So he actually goes back up to Hooker, as we see now, starts shooting at King a bit, you know, who then puts out a snake bite. And then, okay, we're coming back to A. Now, the silence here is enough to where Tex, you'll see in a second, does actually start to think about Rothane, right? That they haven't heard anything here whatsoever. He actually begins to think like, oh, maybe this is a B hit. But then, okay, it's not, right? We start the exec essentially, and so Tex is back here, right? Now, obviously, one problem that they've got is that Lev are playing for Spike Denial. You can see that this is their Viper Orb here, like on the default plant spot. NRG have already seen this. This happened in the pistol round 2, so NRG know this is in Lev's playbook. And the problem that they're going to have in this round, kind of the reason that they lose is, of course, they haven't really done anything towards A. So we still have, like, everything we want to deny the plant here on A. We've still got, right? Like, it's there. It's part of our toolkit. That's going to basically be the round here. A couple problems for NRG is, one, they're going for these deep smokes, right? As if we're going to really take the whole site, right? We're really going to push deep. The problem for NRG with this plan, which they went for multiple times, is that they must be scrimming with a different raise. than Demon 1, because Demon 1 is not going backside with satchels. Like, they must be screaming with someone else on Raze, because that's not happening. So in they come anyway with the Gecko, right? They're going to clear lamps. The KO flash is good there. The KO molly that Ethan's going to throw out, not so good. Misses a lineup here, so that's obviously not great either necessarily. But now we're just going to see that spike denial starts to come in, right? Crashies doesn't have a wingman, which is a problem that happens in multiple rounds somehow in this game as well, for what Lev they're playing against Lev. So that means that they actually have to tap the spike themselves. Crashies kind of wants to go back to get his ult, even though he's the one with the spike. Now their smokes are starting to fade. The rotates are coming in. We get Mazzino here seeing Victor on that shower look, so Victor doesn't feel comfortable going for that on his own anymore either. And now we're just kind of trapped, right? So now they're just kind of stuck. They go for the KO knife. It suppresses, someone, but not everyone. And now we're just kind of in a bad spot if you're NRG here, because it's like, if you look at this right now, right? There is 19 seconds left. There is a lot of players here for Leviatán. They have no space. We still have 2 players chilling back here. What would you do here? And the answer is, I don't know. They're just in a really, really bad spot. And so the plan that they come up with is, okay, I guess we'll try and just use our one flash we have left to flashback sight and hope that this guy can swing. It doesn't work, because of course it doesn't work. And then they just run out of time.
Everyone is here except for Comp. 9 members huddled into this one little site. Demon 1 falls, 13 seconds left. The spike not committed to yet because there's the delay that you mentioned. It's the 3rd, the 4th attempt. And I don't know that there's going to be enough time to get it down.
One enemy
The
remaining.
nade is perfect. There is no time.
Yeah. What a gorgeous display.
That was beautiful.
Okay, now let's come to round number 5, and you're not going to believe this. It's the next full buy round for both teams, right? And you're not going to believe this. They do practically the same round that they just did, which is really quite funny to me. And Lev are doing the same defensive setup, right? So again, it starts with this kind of default out towards Belong, right? We got the KO knife down here. We got a Gecko and Raze looking down there as well. We got these three players starting out towards B. Again, Ethan shooting in towards Hooker, and then we're coming back towards Short here. Again, these two just holding really passive default here, not taking any space, none of that, right? And so we get here, right? They've got to this point. Again, the Skydog comes out from comp, doesn't see anyone. So at this point, Lev are probably thinking this is the same round, right? Which is really, really funny. And so they're all grouped up here. There is 1:11 on the clock, okay? So again, we have plenty of time here, but you're never going to guess what happens, right? They then decide to, okay, let's go and take shower as well, right? But they kind of can't decide who should take shower, so we see they're kind of mingling around, and eventually it's decided that our Raze and KO should go and take shower. Now again, at this point, Lev have already figured out what round is coming, and you can see by the map, NRG are in a really, really bad spot. They decide to take this time to silently re-clear in towards shower here with these 2 players right there. They're just walking into shower. They're going to take all this time contacting. I just want you to remember, they ran out of time in round 3, right? They are playing as a team that we know is doing spike denial on A, right? We know that. This round, they have a Brimald. And we are taking the time to silently walk through here. Now, the reason I'm guessing that they wanted to do this was to go and get the Raze ult, right? Demon 1 is one off his ult here. So he's going to go and pick up this ult up in a second, right? And just, tell everyone, hey, we're in shout. Hey, Raze is in shout, right? Because you'll see in just a second, you're going to put down the boombot to just make sure that he has enough space. And then he's going to go and grab the ult orb, and he's going to go and get his Raze ult, right? So that's our plan. Little bit of a problem already, though. There's only 33 seconds left. Other problem, the map looks like this. So now, again, they're kind of stuck. And now they're going to go for this exec. And actually, they do manage to get some kills. Again, the kind of just aim of the players starts to come out here a bit. But just watch. Because Demon 1 is going to do a horrific Raze ult, right? And again, of course, the plan wasn't thought of before to go and get the ult orb at the start of the round, like you might think. And then, how often do you see a Raze ult coming out this way? Not very often. They're actually going to start this exec before they even put down any smokes. So that's not very good either, is it? And yeah, it's just a horrific mess, and they end up losing the round.
Here's the thing, though, as you mentioned, if they try to rotate out and they try to go through market, there's going to be a lot of presence there. Demon 1, bolt not landing, but the bullets do. Numbers in favor of the attack, still looking for their first round, but holy smokes, they might have snatched this thing back.
Oh my gosh.
Tanks and hotspots can do no wrong.
And the wraparound from King as well. Foolproof.
Seemingly delaying the
So
inevitable.
yeah, it's all sorts of bad. I mean, there's even little details that are bad as well, right? Like, for instance, Demon 1 is already out, right? He's already going with his Razor. So where do we throw our KO knife? We throw our KO knife now here. No. Couldn't tell you what we're doing. Right? Then, Ethan as well throws a KO nade. Who's this for? What's that? What's that lineup? We still think we're on site. We're here. We know there's no one on here. If that's where you meant to throw it, I'm gonna guess it was for, you know, back of lamps. But this is multiple rounds now where he has missed a KO molly. They have a whole guy whose job it is for lineups in this team. Rough. I mean, and okay, they basically lose this round because Tex is able to get these 2 kills here, and Hooker on these 2, he just diffs them. You know, good for Leviatán, good for you, Tex. Nice to see you playing well. Cool for you, good for you, right? And you know, Aspas obviously beats Ethan. You know, no, it's Aspas, right? Cool. And then they know where Crashes is because King is coming on this fast flank, which was always going to be a problem because he was already pushed up B because they already knew what round they were doing, which was a bad round plan against the odds that were available already and the way that you knew Leviatán were playing. And then we come to the very next round, as we will a lot now. We're just going to start to snowball round to round to round because they start doing things that make no sense. Like in this one, let's take a look at it. Now, this is an eco buy, right? So you might excuse them somewhat, you know, for going on a bit of a, you know, it's an eco buy. It's like whatever, right? But we're 5-0 down and it's not going very well. But what they do here, it doesn't make sense to me, right? This is reminiscent to me of that 100 Thieves round where, take a look at this. So they suppress, they send the KO knife in here towards Shower, right? It suppresses Mazzino, right? Mazzino then gets hit by this snakebite. Okay, okay, right, so he gets pushed back out of Shower and has to come back this way, right? He's spamming his gun because he's expecting people, oh, there must be people here, right? They must be wanting to take Shower because of the snakebite. There's actually going to be a mosh pit that lands in here as well, which pushes him out even further, right? But guess what NRG are doing whilst that is all going on? They're sending Demon 1 in through short here. And guess how he dies? He dies to Mazzino, who gets pushed into him. What? And just take a look. I mean, this is the round that they should have. It's like they thought they didn't use Razult last round. Because this is the round. This is the Razult round that they've gone for right here. Right? If Demon 1 paths a bit differently and he's pathing up this way, you know, if he was pathing up this way, Demon 1, you can see the snakebite is good here. The flash is good here. We've got the deep smokes. It's as if this is a Razult round. But it's not. It's just a stinger round that we push the guy here with our util into our raise so he can kill him. And you might think, oh, well, this Viper Orb, he was meant to come into the smoke. This is Lev's smoke before any of you say that, right? NRG have no control of whether this smoke comes up. In fact, this smoke makes it a saving grace almost for Demon 1. Because if this smoke isn't here, he's definitely dying to Mazzino. In the end, Mazzino gets him anyway because it doesn't quite bloom in time. This will keep happening. Okay, very next round, round number 7, and they're going to get a gift from the Leviatán gods here, NRG. They are going to get an absolute gift right here. This is the round they had to win. So in they come, they take Shower, cool, whatever. We got the Viper Spit out towards short. You know, they send this little Viper Orb down here towards B long, right? So they put up their Viper Orb, and Lev are going to give NRG an absolute gift. Because what they're going to do is they're going to walk into a Viper Orb here, and they're going to try and get aggressive, and they're going to just walk out of the Viper Orb without using any of their util here, both Calm and Tex, and yeah, they're both going to die, right? So, absolute gift, 5v3, unlosable.
Finally, some signs of life
Yeah.
coming out from Marv, but can they convert on this? I think that's the question. If Demon 1 gets some space, they can flip the map, or they can stay. That's certainly not going to help their cause. as soon as there's attack, you see the spam go through. And what? He still gets that kill? How has he gotten away with it? Osmox is going to be late to the rotate. King in a perfect position as he gets 2.
Dude.
Demon 1 and Crash is only 2 left standing.
Dude, this is insane.
30 seconds left.
Unbelievable.
I mean, there isn't much to say to that one, really, is there? I mean, the thing is, when Demon 1 sees that Aspas is still here over towards A, and this Viper's Pit is still up at this point, right? Okay, King's just getting out of it now. Like, as soon as this has happened, and you've seen that, like, this is a 4v1. You know this is a 4v1 at this point. And they can't take a site 4v1. Next round, round number 8. It's just another disaster.
Shot at least 10 bullets.
8 rounds into the second.
I mean, even with that flash, it didn't do anything. It didn't even connect.
Oh. Mazzino.
Yeah.
I mean, Mazzino's just unbelievable right now. The series he's had so far has arguably been like a life series. And he's far from done.
Yeah, but Marv's had enough. He's trying to take things into his own hands.
I mean, he had enough in the last round. Just when it feels like there's a little bit of room for them to find some space, it all crumbles!
The utility is too good, and Victor kills himself with his own ult. Everything is going wrong for NRG today.
This feels like we're watching a Shakespearean tragedy.
I'm not even going to talk about Victor killing himself with the ult because things happen. He was getting ulted as well. He had to run away. He died. Whatever. Cool. Don't care. The start of the round, though, that is the problem. That is the big, big problem here for NRG. They've got 4 players here, starting with a default towards Shower. Again, apparently this guy's playing Raze. Apparently. I don't know. They go for this flash, right? KO flash. Ethan, he's throwing it right now. He throws it. It bounces off this, and it misses. They hire a guy for lineups specifically, NRG. They have a guy, Vladko. Comes up with some really cool lineups. He's good at his job. I've seen it on Twitter. He has cool lineups. I'm just going to leave it there. Misses the flash. But this is the problem, again, of we are telling them, they haven't done this flash before, I don't think, in this game. We are telling them we are coming showers, right? Because on the live broadcast, I remember thinking, whoa, how does Mazzino know? Because I just, didn't compute that during the live viewing of this. I was like, how does Mazzino, look, he's just gonna, it's like he knows that they're there and he's pulling out his Brimley straight away. Yeah, of course he knows he's there because they're broadcasting in big lights. We are coming showers slowly. We're not blast packing in with our, with our flash there. That's not a thing we're gonna do. Because again, our Raze, instead of, maybe buying a Stinger on this or whatever, Sheriff. We got a Sheriff. And we're not blast packing in. We don't do that here, okay? So then, the Brim Molly comes out, and then, we've gone for this Gecko stuff out here, right? But Mazzino just knows. He spams into the smoke, gets a kill, right? This is the problem. The problem is that they broadcast where they're going, but they do it slowly. That doesn't make any sense. And you miss a flash. It just doesn't make any sense. And we know, we've seen Marv do this Viper Snakebite lineup in here before. We know he has that lineup. We know he knows it. And he doesn't do it in this round, though. When they're going showers, he does it to push the guy out when we're going short. What are they doing? Next one, round number 9. It doesn't get any better.
Him laughing. I know it seems kind of troll. He died to his own ult, but what was his choice?
Yeah, he didn't have many options.
I mean, he's going to die to the enemy Brim ult if he doesn't do that. Do they clear calm here? Oh,
they've got Aspas to help, and they have Tex with the Dizzy over the top. I mean, that's the cue. The flash just dropped. The bodies do too.
It's beautiful.
You might have just heard it there in Baby Bay's voice just for a second of where the truth started to come out of he realized just how bad NRG were playing. Because again, this makes no sense, right? It makes no sense because, again, we're flashing out here, okay? Flash. We're coming out this way, right? Okay? Demon 1 used a blast back to get across. No one's there. We KO knife. Okay, we're coming towards long. We mosh pit. We're coming towards long. We wait until all this util is gone. And now I'm going to slowly just contact in, you know, hope to find this kill. Once all the util's gone, we suppress this guy. We know this guy is somewhere close. Okay. Now I'm just going to walk in. After the util's gone. Am I going to blast back in, you know, whilst the mosh pit is there? Whilst that guy can only be in one angle? No. No, that would be too obvious. They would expect that. So let me just wait until the util is gone. And then I'll slowly walk in. And look, the next part this night, double flash. Cool. Cool for you, Lev. Good for you. Right? Good for you. Good. It's not like this was the thing with this game, right? It was like when you rewatch this game, it's like things that make you sick, but then thankfully Leviatán are there to, like, you know, pat you on the back and make sure you're okay with, like, oh, here's something nice, right? That's what this game was. Because what are they doing? And then the final one here is round number 10, and this one actually doesn't go that bad towards the end. They do still lose the round, of course. But just the way that we get there, and even Babybait's calling out on commentary, it's just another disaster.
And it's also not with Aspas dropping 40. Nope. Right? I think would have been the expectation for most, but alas, they're doing it by committee.
Look at that. They're so confident. They want to disrupt. They want NRG to have to use utility on these early chokes, so when they actually go for the site hits, they have nothing. And then they just win the util exchange. Like, even there, they just walk up short.
Poison orb emitting.
Go for a peek, get out instantly. And now they're gonna re-aggro again.
Oh, really feeling like they were ahead of that.
But NRG's not reacting off of this at all. They should already be taking the A site. This hesitation that is coming through.
I got this. I'm out.
And they're close. They haven't committed to it yet. Marv has his pit. Crashes has his ult. The knife not tagging, but the dog's already out. Mazino with a lot to do.
Spike planted.
And to the surprise of no one, Mazino wins it out again. He gets 2.
Monster on the loose.
Goes on for the 3rd, but doesn't land it. Aspas still back sight. Tex has been caught, but it's just momentary. It's just a slight delay. You see NRG disciplined with it, not forcing any of these fights, understanding they're in a position to win a round.
Poison's off.
And not wanting to squander it, not wanting to throw it away. The pit goes in, and King's behind enemy lines. He's so far up. Aspas snaps!
What a freak!
The more I watch this round, the worse it gets, I think. Honestly, like, it's bad watching it live, but I think it gets worse the more you kind of look at the details. Again, I'm more worried about the start of the round, really, than the end of the round, right? So this is coming off a timeout as well, which is not good. So Leviatán, they start off with this double walk up, right? Okay, we see them. We see them. Victor sees them, right? Hey, Aspas is pushing up, probably with multiple players here, right? This is something I don't get at all. Okay, this is crazy. They KO knife in showers, right? There's the smoke here. KO knife sees no one, right? It sees no one. As far as I can tell off the map here, there is literally nowhere you could be to avoid this KO knife in shower. Literally nowhere can you avoid this KO knife right here. But even so, even though the KO knife suppresses no one, Ethan, take a look at this. He's going to throw a flash. He throws a flash through this smoke for Demon 1 to go through, which Demon 1 doesn't go through the smoke, even though they know no one is in showers. I'm just going to let you ponder that for a second, okay? Whilst that's going on, we did get a sky flash. You just saw it there. If I come back, you're going to see a sky flash comes down here from B. Okay, so Marv gets hit by that flash, as far as I can tell. You know the sky is B long. Okay, that's fine. Okay, next thing, Crashies is going to come in here. He sees King. Okay, at this point, you can figure out pretty confidently, you know what the setup is, right? Because there's a Brim smoke here, so you know the Brim has to be on A. You know that this was probably a triple stack walking down here, or you know there's 3 players towards shore, no one was towards showers, and there's 2 players here on B. You know this. The information that you have, you know this. Okay? Then, so you think, okay, NRG are going to come towards B. And Leviatán know that, hey, we've given up a lot of info. They know where we are. So they think, oh, they must be coming towards B. NRG, I mean, just looking at the map, it doesn't, they look confused. at this point, even though the call is pretty obvious at this point to be coming towards B. They look confused. Lev know what the call should be, so they go for this hooker crunch, right? 2 players TP. Okay, 2 players have TP'd. Luckily, we were so incompetent that, you know, we were doing nothing back here that, you know, they reacted quicker than us. And so now we just need to sprint to A. That is the obvious easy call. There is only 2 places really this guy can be. Either he's walked back into shower and maybe he's in here, or he's back site. That is literally the only 2 places he is going to be if his team has done this double TP play. So we can just sprint onto A. Easy call. What do they do instead? I don't know. They're all waiting to check for this flank. Like, they're all just sitting here waiting for it, and eventually they realize, oh yeah, we just need 1 guy for that, I guess. And they come in here, and then this is funny as well, right? Let's just end it with this. They give Crashies the spike. He doesn't have wingman. So they ferry Crashies along the spike, even though he could be ulting, right? Like, why does he need the spike at this point? Right? He can be ulting and finding where this brim is for us, right? He can be ulting towards the backside and finding where this brim is and probably get a free kill, right? No, we give him the spike. You see he's trying to put out the wingman. He doesn't have the wingman, so we don't end up using that anyway. And then just to top it all off, we just go for, of course, a dry swing into there as well whilst the whole team is here. It's just so bad. It's so bad. And at the end of the round, like, from this point, it's not that bad, right? Asbest gets a crazy 3k. Cool for you. Good for you, Asbest. You deserved it. I really wanted this game to be a 13-0. It deserved to be. This was awful. And I'm sure you can tell by what I've been saying and what you've seen in this game. I don't think I'm being that harsh, honestly. I think that this is that bad. And yeah, it deserved to be a 13-0. It was that bad. And I don't know what to think of NRG. Because, like, when you watch this game, it makes you wonder how they even won a game, let alone stomp teams. Like, when you watch this, when you watch how bad this is. Maybe they just have a really weak mental. I don't know. If they go down early, they just don't know how to come back. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But it was really bad. Like, it was really bad. But Lev were also good. And Lev were good, okay? So if you're a Lev fan, Lev were good. But NRG were bad.